In any film or any documentary that you need to create, you'll have choices about using a tripod setup or a handheld setup. So we will discuss tripod versus handheld. A handheld situation usually is applied when a point of view shot is required. Point of view, or POV. An example of a point of view shot is if you have a character is walking down a hall and there needs to be a cut to a point of view shot where the character is walking. So for example, the audience will see an individual walking down a hallway, and then the cut that the editor goes to is what we call a point of view shot, which is really the camera operator walking in the same direction and looking at the same situation that the character that we just saw would be walking in. So that point of view shot is almost always done with a handheld. In that situation, a tripod would not have the same effect. So that would be an example where a point of view shot would be it would be the right decision, first of all, and also it would have the greatest impact for that particular scene. Other advantages of handheld shots. Great for documentaries. It brings the audience into the environment. It's less intrusive. People are not actors. Tripods can be very intimidating to people that are being shot in documentaries, for example, because they are not actors and they're not used to sort of extensive setups. So in those situations, handhelds are definitely the way to go. The tripod. Tripods are very effective in sit-down interviews. They provide stability. They give a feel of professionalism. They're good for plays, ceremonies, and allows the operator to focus on composition instead of stability. So when you decide you're in a situation where there is any sort of a presentation, sort of somebody standing at a podium, for example, that is usually the time where you want to use a tripod. Setting up a tripod, if you've never done it before, takes some practice. Some experience needs to be developed, and there are a couple of key factors that you really need to take into account. The basic factor for setting up a tripod has to do with keeping the tripod level. And all tripods have a leveling bubble. And it's important that by adjusting the legs, that the bubble is in the middle of the circle that's on the head of the tripod. And each tripod has adjustment points where the leg would go up or down. And if you're not on a perfectly level surface, you would adjust those legs, leg 1, leg 2, leg 3, and look at the vial, the leveling bubble, that is on the head of the tripod. And when that bubble is in the middle, then you know that you have a nice level shot for your camera. Although tripods are by nature stable, there are situations where making them even more stable is important. And there are a couple of techniques that can be used to increase the stability of a tripod. The bigger the better. Simply put, you can purchase tripods that are light and small, and although they do add some stability, they certainly are not as stable as a larger, sort of heavier, bulkier tripod. Sandbags. Placing some sort of weights on the base of the legs allows for a very stable base for the tripod. So if there's any motion in the area, there could be wind, there could be traffic going by that would sort of rumble the ground. Placing sandbags or some sort of weight on the base would be very important and very helpful. Also, the wider the base you set up, as the legs become wider, they become more stable. And ultimately, what this does is this allows, the more stable your tripod, the more stable the base, this allows the operator to really focus on the smoothness, the motion, the motion for pans and tilts. So the importance of a pan and tilt to a particular situation really is enhanced if the tripod is as stable as it can be. And ultimately, like any physical ability, any physical motion, practice, practice, practice. Spend time with the instrument, spend time with the tripod, and after practicing, the tripod will just become, setting it up, leveling it, keeping it stable will become second nature.